Bill 69. So we on to the next topic, Lisa. We talked about what we're gonna do. So we are gonna be cool after this. So guys, Lisa and I have been having this discussion honestly
Yes.
pretty much all week.
Yep.
I took some time to not say that she's wrong, but she took the time to say that I'm wrong. Does that make sense? I didn't say that she was
It
wrong,
does, but I'm
but
pretty
she
sure
does say that I'm wrong.
you were standing on that mountain with your flag. You were just putting that thing down, and you were just like, nope.
I did kind of draw a line in the dirt.
Yeah, you
But
did.
Lisa, I did. I have time because I am a Renaissance man. You know what I mean? I have had time to take a step back and reflect on your words and reflect on the thinking and touch base with a couple of men that I knew. And the answer is going to still be the same. Men are terrible. So the question. We are. I was talking to him after I've had my enlightening moment. I'm like, yeah, maybe And then I talked to him. I'm like, I'm back on the flag then. But no, I have had time to reflect. So guys, this is the second topic. The second one we're going to talk about is, are men insecure when it comes to dating or being in relationships with independent women? And because I am such a gentleman, Lisa doesn't have to go first because she went first this time. Lisa, I'm going to go first, have you think about it, and see where I'm coming from on my aspect. So, do I think that men are, and I have a two-part answer because I did, like I said, I had to reflect. I had to reflect. So I'm going to start with my negative my negative aspect, and then I'll come back around. So do I think men are insecure? I think in real life men are insecure anyway. We're insecure about everything. We're insecure about what we do in the bedroom. We're insecure at our jobs when it comes to other men that we're around. We're insecure if the woman is pretty. We're insecure if our football teams are terrible. So we're insecure about pretty much everything. So it doesn't really matter. So when it comes to dating or dealing with independent women, I don't think that men are, in fact, I don't think that they're intimidated. I think that I don't like the fact that when you're an independent woman, some of the independent women have this thought in their head that they don't need you. They just want you to be there. But in reality, they don't need you. A man needs to feel needed, if that makes sense. We need to feel needed. You ain't even gotta want us, but we want you to need us. You know what I mean? So if you don't need me, then what is my purpose in your life? Also, some men that I have spoken with and some men that are out there, they say that when a woman is independent and she makes her own and she gets her own and she's up there and she's doing her thing, that it's the attitude that they project or portray in these relationships or when a man approaches them. It's the men don't like to be talked down to. And some of the women, I'm not saying all of you guys, I'm saying some. Some of the women will talk down. Some of them will let you know what their status is and stand and wave that flag in your face. Men are already insecure, Lisa. We're already insecure. So if you're doing that, not only have we lost our dominance, if you make more money than we do, we've already lost that aspect because some men equate money with dominance. I make more money than her.
It's so hard not to interrupt right now.
I know.
Breathing with anger.
It's going to be your turn here in 2 minutes. So men equate that dominance with their money, with their status. And if that woman is there, then it's like, then we shrink. It's so weird that men are like that. But on the other hand, this is my enlightenment moment that we had. What Robert thinks that I'm not intimidated by a woman at all. I don't care if she is on public aid or if she is Oprah Winfrey. My thing is just treat me right. Treat me nice. I'm going to treat you nice. I'm going to treat you right. You know what I mean? I'm going to treat you nice. I'm going to treat you right. Listen, if Oprah wanted me to be her man, first I got to check with my wife to make sure it's cool. But if Oprah wanted me to, I'm like, honey, she's got like $3 billion. Just rent me out a little bit. But if Oprah wanted, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody has a price.
Everybody does. And I understand. And the thing is, I understand that Oprah has that status. Women are out here getting it. You know what I mean? They're out here getting it and they're putting that hustle on. I think what it is just if you're a smart man and if you're working and you're doing your thing and you're taking care of business, and if she's working and she's doing her thing and she's taking care of business, and she just so happens to may have climbed the mountain a little bit higher than you, what's wrong with combining forces and becoming a power couple? If she makes more money than you, you just make sure that you do your part and still treat her nice and still treat her like she's supposed to be treated, and don't think about it as an aspect, oh, she makes more money. Because I think that, like you said, I mean, like I said, I had my enlightenment moment. 2 incomes, especially, you need more than just 2 incomes. You need 2 incomes. You need Studio 69 to kick off so you can get paid residuals on that. You know, you need all of that stuff. So I think a lot of it just has to do with our insecurities. I don't know where that came from. I think it's when we got kicked out of the Garden of Eden and it just didn't work. So
yeah, well, technically that was our fault.
No, it wasn't. We were put
was our fault.
Look, we were put in charge and we should have said no. Well, Lisa, you're up.
So first of all, foremost, let me preface this. All the things I'm about to say out of my mouth hole are my opinions only. They do not represent anybody else or any other communities, companies, or anything else that I'm affiliated with. Okay.
Yes.
So now that has been said, I'm going to say multiple different things about this insecurity thing that men might have about independent women. Okay. One, that's a social construct. All right. Our society has been built that men have been put on a pedestal. And they have been for a very, very, very long time landowners. When you got married, you were his property. When in the 1950s, you were expected to stay home, take care of the kids, take care of the house. He was expected to go out and make the money and provide for his family. That dynamic is no longer in existence in America today. Because like I said, you have to have 2 incomes to survive nowadays, unless you're working a job that pays you an exorbitant amount of money and you don't have to worry about that. But most households with kids, you have to have 2 incomes, period, no matter what. Yes. So I really feel like that insecurity is coming from a generational place. I think that if you talk to younger generations, they're not going to have that insecurity as much because they've grown up in households with both parents working, or they've had a single parent household that seems to be working as well. And the independence piece, I think, is more, I don't know, it's more structured around like an antiquated tradition of what a male role is, which is really about male toxicity, right? Like, oh, don't be a pussy. Oh, you don't make like your wife does, you know, that kind of thing. And then that's so dumb. I also think as well that this whole attitude that she makes the money and that she talks down to the man, I can't tell you how many times a day a guy will talk down to me, not only because I'm physically smaller than they are, but because they're trying to assert their dominance or whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, this ideology around like who has the bigger dick is gotta stop either way. And if a woman comes across like that, men are like, oh, well, she's a bitch. Like, oh, she has an attitude. And like, but men walk around all day doing that. Like, one of the things that I love to do when I go on these conference calls, right, is they always open the floor up to whoever wants to talk. And it is always the same 6 dudes that are talking just to talk. They're not adding any value. They're just like, my dick's bigger than his dick. I'm always like, dude, stop sucking each other off. We get it. You're all homeboys. You're all bros. You're all gonna like run the world someday. Yes, and really and truly, that's where that comes from. So I really don't know whether or not men and their insecurities is really, I really feel like that's gonna go away in the future. I think it's really a generational thing. That being said, though, when a woman is independent, right, and she wants to be with you because you're a partner, you're her equal, and or even if you're not, quote unquote, equal in terms of financial stability, she chose you. Be a good person. The fact that she makes more money than you do, who gives a shit? She picked you. She wants to be with you. Like the fact that you don't quote unquote feel needed, she wants you to be part of her life, to be emotional support, to be her partner. The fact that that was chosen is kind of a big deal, and I don't know why people would feel insecure about that. Not to mention the fact that I want somebody in my life that I can do stuff with and not have to worry about, about being the only breadwinner, or coming home and being like, oh, I have to cook dinner after a long day at work. I need a partner. I need somebody that's going to be in it with me. And if you feel insecure about that because I'm more independent than you are, then you're not my partner. You're not the person that I'm supposed to be with. And if that's a problem in the relationship, that's on them, not on me. So that's how I feel about it.
I love that. I love what you just said as far as them being your partner. I think honestly, like you said, I that's why I said I will have my enlightening moment. You are absolutely correct in that aspect, because men have to get out of that. It's all about me, but we're fragile. Like, that's weird. It can't be about you and you standing in front and taking the shots when you're gonna cry as soon as you get smacked. And who's gonna be there to pick you up? Your woman, hopefully. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your partner. You know what I mean? And I totally agree. Like I totally agree that we need to. I think men need to understand the concept of walking side by side and being on a line for the same goal. A lot of times we don't, really. So we want you to be in the back of us, and we want to pull your hand. We're dragging you. But like you said, I mean, a lot of us older men, and even men older than me, when that generation dies out, and like you said, the next generation, like, I don't even think my son thinks like that at all. He's 16 years old. I don't think he thinks like that at all. You know what I'm saying? He thinks about his woman being his equal. He thinks about that in aspect. So that, so I always tell him, that's refreshing that you do think like that, because sometimes it is hard. It is hard. And I love how your thought, you need to actually, who do I need to talk to? You need to actually do a full, like, woman independent but want a partner type of situation, because what you said, it actually makes more sense. And I think a lot of women need to hear that for sure, because I thought that was actually very good. I didn't, not like you were the other day when I was talking to you when you were ranting and raving.
Where I was dragging everybody that we do into the conversation. Like, hey, you're walking by. What do you think?
You're dragging everybody, and your head's on fire. And you were on fire because they were like, man, Lisa was on fire. I'm like, yeah, I know. But
I was all jazzed up.
I did. I got you jazzed up. But no, that was amazing what you said. And I really do appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing that. Man, it's just weird.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, I understand the ideology around feeling like you want to be needed in a relationship, but I really feel like if you've got a partner, you are needed, like, you are, like, my partner doesn't, he doesn't make as much money as I do, but I can't reach the top shelf without him. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I work in a place that sells tools. I can't use any of them. Like, that kind of thing. Like, there's always going to be some sort of deficiency in one person that the other person can fill. And I feel like when you find that piece to your puzzle, it works. It will work no matter what, independent or not.
I agree. So Lisa, this is what we're going to do, because my timer is going out. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop this. I'm going to stop this.